Okay, man. Okay. They ain't trying to kill me, bro. They trying to kill me. They trying to kill me. I'm telling y'all the truth.
Brother, I think that's okay. You've done been gone.
They trying to kill me, y'all.
36-year-old Chené Robinson was living a life that was built on hard work, dedication, and determination. On one hand, she was a girly girl, but she was equally a tomboy that could hang with the fellas and fit in just the same. For almost a decade, she made a name for herself as a talented barber in Indianapolis, Indiana. Known by many as Mocha the Barber, she had amassed over 22,000 followers on her business Instagram while working at All Star Barbershop off of Georgetown Road in Indianapolis. Her chair stayed in rotation, and her work spoke for itself. Not only was she a great barber, but she was a beacon of light for everyone who encountered her or sat in that chair. Chené was full of love, light, and adventure, with so many great plans for her future. Unfortunately, her life was cut short after an encounter with a person with a hidden dark past. Chené, who many affectionately called Nay or Mocha, was living her life on her terms and enjoyed every minute of it. Being the only woman barber in her shop, she quickly grew thick-skinned to all the testosterone-fueled men who enjoyed giving their coworker a hard time respectfully. However, she always had a comeback and gave the guys just as much hell as they gave her. Even though she was outnumbered, she gave the shop a balance that was well appreciated. Her positive energy stretched a long way, and her zest for life was contagious. Being in her chair was not just about the haircut, it was about the connection, trust, and the comfort of knowing you're in good hands. Chené built many meaningful relationships over the years with her clients that often developed into long-lasting friendships. When she was not working, she kept busy doing many things that she enjoyed throughout her life. One of her favorite pastimes was skating. She loved vibing out to the music and moving around the ring without a care in the world. Chené also enjoyed going out, going to concerts, dancing, and traveling. She was checking places off her bucket list from the east to the west coast, plus some island adventures. She soaked up all life had to offer, living life to the fullest, spreading love everywhere she went. Sadly, something bad would take place while Chené was on the road, but not everything was as it seemed. On the night of June 24, 2026, law officials will find Chené unresponsive inside a wrecked big rig near the Ohio-Indiana border. The truck appeared to have gone into a ditch on the US 40 entrance ramp to Interstate 70 West.
2 News reporter Avery Feldman is live near the scene with what we know this morning. Avery.
Caleb, Kelly, a woman was found dead in a semi-truck crash just after 8 last night. The Wayne County Coroner's Office released a statement moments ago, reading in part, quote, "The investigation has revealed evidence indicating foul play is involved." Officials are in the process of getting a search warrant for that semi-truck and say they will update us with more information later this afternoon.
All looked like a tragic accident, but the truth began to unfold quickly. What initially started as a routine crash response that Wednesday evening soon became something more troubling for the deputies on both sides of the Ohio-Indiana state line. Near the crash site was the Petro Travel Center, a full-service travel center where truckers can refuel, shower, get a hot meal, and much more. County deputies responded to that Petro, where they located the driver of the 18-wheeler Chené was found in, fresh out the shower and somewhat ready to talk. According to authorities, while speaking with the driver, he evidently made some statements suggesting he may have been responsible for the demise of the female passenger in his truck. That admission changed the entire nature of the scene. Investigators started to believe the tragedy was not related to the crash, and the Wayne County Coroner's Office confirmed that the investigation revealed evidence indicating foul play. The man was identified as 38-year-old lled Shaw, and when police tried to detain him, that's when things became a little chaotic.
Okay, man. Okay. They ain't trying to kill me, bro. They trying to kill me. They trying to kill me. I'm telling y'all the truth.
Brother, I think that's okay. You've done been gone.
They trying to kill me, y'all.
LaDavid's alleged words and his actions made it even clearer that he did something horrifying inside the cab of that big rig. Before being hauled off to jail, he was taken to the local hospital for injuries sustained when trying to resist arrest, and then he was finally booked into jail.
Deputies put a man in handcuffs after they said he crashed his semi and then he admitted he killed a woman in that big rig.
And this is right on the Ohio-Indiana state line. The sheriff in Preble County told me that the big rig crashed on the Indiana side, and then that's when they said the man ran off on foot into Ohio, and there's a petrol gas station right there. And then that's where they had to basically get physical with him to get control of him. Here's what the sheriff told us just before 11 o'clock.
Evidently during discussions with the driver of the semi, their semi driver evidently made some statements that maybe he's responsible for the death of a female passenger that was in the truck, and it wasn't because of the crash. So units responded up here. They were getting ready to take him to be checked out medically based on that crash over there. And he became aggressive, so he was arrested.
This, however, was not a new reality for LaDavid, because he was no stranger to a cold cell, a thin bed, and a steel toilet. Originally from Jackson, Mississippi, LaDavid had started his own trucking business in June of 2020 alongside his brother and appeared to be making strides for a better life to provide for his girls. LaDavid became a father for the first time in May of 2018, around the age of 30, to a little girl, and took on the role as a father figure to his daughter's older sister. That relationship that gave him his first daughter and bonus daughter appeared to be short-lived, and he appeared to father 2 more twin daughters with another woman a few years later. By all accounts, he looked to be a stand-up dad, a loving person, and a father who enjoyed being with his girls, and also shared a special bond with his mother. Now, no one's life is perfect, but life appeared to be treating him well after spending years behind bars. Almost 20 years ago, on September 16, 2006, LaDavid took the life of a 30-year-old man named Ronald Webster, whose loved ones called fool after he was allegedly mistaken for someone else LaDavid was trying to unalive. LaDavid would be sentenced to 20 years in prison, and he served around 11 years before being released in 2017. When Ronald's sister heard of the news that LaDavid took a life again, she wrote, "The same guy who unalived my brother fool. I don't know how to feel because it is weeks before my brother's birthday, but I'm praying for this young lady's family because I know how this feels." Sadly, it reopened a wound that was never fully healed for Ronald's family and created a new wound for Chené's family. LaDavid allegedly admitted to strangling Chené after he got upset that she would not be quiet after he told her to. There was no regard for this beautiful woman who loved life and brought so much joy to others around her. Him being from Mississippi and her from Indiana is far enough apart that she might not have been aware of his dark past. Not everyone who gets in trouble reoffends, but sadly, LaDavid chose to take the same path after 9 years out of jail. Did he not think of his daughters who look up to him? Did he not think about the business he built? A lot of people get out of jail and find it very difficult to find a job, especially one making good money. And LaDavid was fortunate enough to have a village around him to help him rebuild his life. Despite the good around him, he took another life, destroying Chené's family and friends. One of her loved ones wrote, "The beauty industry lost one of the real ones, a true hidden gem, humble, talented, and respected. Her chair stayed full, her lines stayed crispy, and her work spoke for itself. It's hard to believe we were just talking on Tuesday. We were laughing about trucking, school, and life. You finally let me do your signature finger waves, only person you trusted with them. In return, you poured into me, giving me tips on blades, clippers, and how to get my lines as crispy as yours. Those conversations meant more than you probably knew. Thank you for sharing your knowledge so freely and for always encouraging me to grow. Rest easy, beautiful. Your talent, your kindness, and your legacy will continue to live through everyone you inspired." A true light gone too soon. Her life mattered, and she should still be here. I hate that her path had to cross with such a person, and I pray that her loved ones get the full justice they deserve. Please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for her loved ones in this dark time. Also, hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.